What's going on, everybody? Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Market pretty choppy today. Tech sector leading the sell-off, especially after a disappointing jobs report was released. I will say this, though, for the past 6 months, they have missed by 50% or more every single month, and they continue to overestimate that number. It truly boggles my mind. We did have an amazing IPO that started today, ticker symbol HOUR, HOUR. We picked that up just under $5. Ran that all the way nice and easy, all the way to over 10. Gave us numerous opportunities. In this video, I want to talk about what happened today, not only with AMC, more specifically GameStop. And I don't cover GameStop a lot on my channel, but what I saw today with the price action really kind of got me thinking, got some wheels turning in my head. And I know a lot of times when I make a video, I give you my concrete opinion, or I will talk about concrete evidence and share my perspective and my point of view on it. But this one is going to be a little bit more open-ended. So if you have anything, really constructual to add, please leave in the comments down below. I would love to know exactly what you're thinking besides the normal statement of hedge funds and market makers are just playing their BS games. Let's get right into it. First off, GameStop had news yesterday talking about getting into the NFT world. There was somebody in the group today that did share that there was some speculation that the news was actually fake news. However, here's what I've learned about news, especially being in the market for a long period of time, that when there's momentum behind a stock, momentum will trump news any day. Okay, now if it's a pop on weak news and there's not much momentum, then the news isn't going to be enough to carry that stock price. But if there's momentum behind it, it's off to the races. And we've seen that with biotech stocks and numerous other stocks, but especially in that bio sector. But let's talk about what happened with GameStop. I'm going to run through everything with you. Before we get into it, the reason why I'm focusing on GameStop is I tweeted this yesterday, and it is 100% the truth. When one go, they all go. All right. I even took a picture of COS and BlackBerry, and you saw all of them popping. Now, GameStop was the leader, and from where it closed, it was up, I believe it was about 35, almost 35% at a high, 34% at a high, but still opened up 23% higher. And I have this line right here, as you can see, at 165. And I thought in my mind, and share with everybody in the group, I said, if this gets over 165, above that previous resistance, all right, it's going to show that bulls are fully in charge. We are going to see a lot of action for a few reasons. One, there's not a single retail trader or institutional trader out there that doesn't know that this stock can run. And when it runs hard. Doesn't matter about the news. They know it can run, and it has range. Okay, GameStop has a high of, I believe it's like 500 pre-market and 400 intraday, and we're sitting at 165. Okay, this is a stock that has range and can go. Everybody knows that. And here we are from the open. There was nothing but shorting and maybe a little bit of selling from somebody that might have been trying to get a little profit holding, a little profit taking that might have known about some of the news. But other than that, nothing but bearish action. All right. And when you see these little pops right here, I'm going to give you, a little training course. When you see these little pops, there might be some day trading scalpers in there who are scalping this off of, previous support, as you can see here at the 152 and psychological 150. But a lot of times when you see a hard downtrend, a little pop followed by a further downtrend, these are short coverings. Okay. Now, don't get that confused with the big funds, all right, and the massive short covering. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about either, retail traders, maybe small institutional traders. These are small positions. Your 1,000 shares, your 1,500 shares, maybe your 2,000 shares. But that's what they're doing. They're ensuring profit. Okay. Just like when you see, all right, when we're taking a stock up, when it's ripping up and it comes back down, it bases, it cools off, it bases support to take another leg up. It's the same exact thing, but in shorting. And that's what they're doing. And the reason why you see bullish action, what looks like, is because when you're closing a short position, you are buying the stock to close. And that's what happens. You get a little bump and then it gets taken down again. But this was all shorting and bearish action. And throughout the entire day, especially after the first hour, I was thinking to myself, these guys have been pushed 33%. And there was clearly not one flinch. Okay. Now, this chart says it all. All right. The guys that are short way deep into this, and we all know who I'm talking about, they clearly didn't flinch at all. Did they add to their positions at this level? Who knows? Did some of them probably get out of this? A little bit of retail getting out of this right here towards the end of the day? Yeah, most likely. But like I said, there was no flinch. And here's the other part that got me thinking this. And I shared this with everybody a few days ago, talking about third-party data. You can't trust third-party data. And I've always believed that these third-party providers, they're in business for themselves. As long as they can provide you information that's somewhat accurate, they want your subscription, they want to sell Google ad space to be able to make money, and that's it. All right, so we won't really know exactly some of these numbers, obviously normally from 2 days from now, but because they're falsified, their reports, and chances are some of these providers have even been bought out by the hedge funds, you're never going to know that number accuracy. But it also got me thinking here, there was no big money, big massive moves taking this to the upside, trying to really squeeze the other side. So it has me, my one thought process is, have some of these other funds who did not had a neutral position that might have taken the bull side back in January on GameStop or back in June, have they been bought out? Have they been, like suggested not to be able to take part in these plays until this plays out? I don't really know, but it definitely had me thinking. Now, when you look at GameStop, I'm going to talk about GameStop first. All right, it was number one trending on Yahoo Finance. But when you look at GameStop, the float had turned over 5 or 6 times, or I'm sorry, the volume was 5 or 6 times the average value. Okay, so there should have been a lot more volatility in a stock like this, unless it was just heavily shorted, which clearly, as you can see, okay, because of the sheer volume, there was continued shorting. When you look at AMC, which falls in the same category, and I know, like I said, the news is GameStop, but it doesn't matter because they fall into the same sector. And everybody calls them meme stocks, but unfortunately, they fall into the same sector. But as you can see, the volume was, pretty in line with the average value. So like I said, nothing hit this. And when you look at AMC's chart, very similar. All right. It did look like it wanted to break out above that resistance, as I have this line here at about 24 and a quarter. But it was nothing but a fake out, continued more to the downside. It did stabilize a little bit more than GameStop. Okay, GameStop came down a little bit further, but just seeing that this push of, where were they up? About 17%. There was nothing, no flinch. So, like I said, I just wanted to share this with everybody. If you do have some, input, some information besides the market makers and hedge funds playing games, because that's been going on for months now. We don't need that. But please share it in the comments. I just wanted to share with you guys. I truly was surprised that we didn't at least get a big push out of GameStop, trying to at least charge for 200, maybe get to that psychological level 200, and then some of the big money would have taken some of their gains. But I was very surprised to see the price action today, and that it was just, like I said, continued to the downside. So guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.